Welcome back to the 50 Shades of Presley podcast. This is episode 4, and I've got my lovely ladies with me. We've got Chantel,
Hi.
and I've got
Lynn,
Hey.
Natalie.
Hi.
your host today. This is Brooke, and today we are talking about Elvis's houses. The houses he either purchased or rented for a while. So we're going to be talking about that today. Who wants to start off with a house? So let's start with Chantel. Let's see what house she looked into.
The house I looked into was Graceland. So obviously, as everyone knows, he obviously bought the house in 1957 and he lived there up until his death on and off. And obviously he was buried in the October of that year at Graceland, as we all will know. But there's one thing that I didn't know, was that the jungle room wasn't actually originally called the jungle room up until he passed. It was actually originally called the den.
Yep, Elvis called it the den.
I never found out who called it the jungle room, but that's what it was called. And then what I found out was that there were 3% potential owners. There was Sears, who owned the land, and the other owner of Graceland was called Grace, who Elvis bought the house from, and that's why Graceland was named after her. And someone wanted to turn it into a high-end restaurant, so then obviously Elvis bought it from an owner called Grace.
I didn't know they wanted to turn it into a restaurant.
Yeah, that's what it came. When I was researching it, it says that someone wanted to turn it into a high-end restaurant.
Holy cow.
And there's a total of 23 rooms, including 8 bedrooms and bathrooms.
A lot of rooms to clean.
I would not want to be the cleaners, have to clean every single one of them rooms.
I would.
And the nice thing is that I found out was that every year around Christmas, after obviously Elvis's death, and obviously when Lisa had her family, they all go to Graceland to celebrate. And they do, like, sometimes they do Christmas and Thanksgiving over there.
Mm-hmm.
At the house. So obviously it was like, because obviously Christmas was Elvis's favourite holiday, because obviously he kept the decorations up from the December to the January up until his birthday. So obviously that was his favourite time of the year. And obviously I think everyone knows this, but obviously Graceland was listed in the National Register of Historic Places on November 7th of 91, becoming the first site to recognise for the significance related to rock music. And then it was declared a National Historic Landmark on March 27th, 2006.
It's a beautiful house, too.
It is a beautiful house, yeah. Paid for $102,500 for the property.
Gosh, that's amazing.
Which I don't know what that would equivalent to in today's money. But
Yeah.
you would not get a house of that size in today's money anyway.
No,
Certainly not.
no, definitely not.
Amazing. When did the gates get put in? I forget.
Was it 1956, 57 before we moved in, or was it 58? I didn't actually get an exact date.
I think you're right. I think it's around 58 when he installed the
Because I
gates.
didn't get quite an exact date, because there was a lot of, like, either between 57 or 58.
April 22nd, 1957.
Because he was obviously moving
There
in
we
in
go.
57. So obviously, if he was having the house remodeled, then I'm guessing he had them all done at the same time. So,
Yeah.
because I know
Yeah.
that wall wasn't there. He had that wall put in, apparently. That wall that's outside of Graceland. Apparently, he had that put in all the way around.
Yeah, he did. Was for sure.
Yeah.
He definitely needed privacy. But then again, though, he still drove down to the front of the gates to talk to his fans. So
No,
He
what
certainly
an
did.
amazing human being he was.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
It still is.
Definitely, that's one of the second most visited house in America.
Mm-hmm.
So the White
And
House.
the first is the White House.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the first is the White House, the second is Graceland. So it just proves how many
Wow.
people still love him 46 years later.
It's amazing.
Oh, but I won't be remembered. Okay.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Hillcrest home, I believe in Beverly Hills. So I have some notes here. If I recall correctly, I believe the Beatles met Elvis at the Hillcrest home on August 27th of 1965. He met some fans outside of the home on April 13th of 1968. Dylan and Lisa Marie enjoyed happy times at the Hillcrest home from 1967 to 73. Elvis owned this Beverly Hills home from 1967 to 73 and spent a considerable amount of time with his wife Priscilla and daughter Lisa Marie. Located in Truesdale Estates and built in 1958 on just a little over an acre of land, the nearly 5,400 square foot house features 3 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms. The gated home includes a swimming pool and floor-to-floor ceiling windows. The house was bought by the king for $400,000 and sold for $25.5 million in 2019. The previous owner, Peter
Holy
Morton, founder of the Hard Rock Cafe restaurant brand, wanted to demolish the property after buying it for $10 million in 2012. However, he changed his mind after public outrage about the proposed demolishment of the home. In 2012, the estate entered the market for the first time in 2 decades, listing for $13 million. A few months later, Pierre Morton, co-founder of the Hard Rock Cafe chain, bought it for a significant price, cut at $9.8 million. At the time, the home remained in the state from when the Presleys resided. So when Morton announced plans to demolish it, sparked public outrage. Burger King even offered to buy and preserve the place as an Elvis shrine, so Morton eventually decided to remodel instead. He still made a $4.7 million profit when he listed the property for $14.5 million in 2014. And lastly, the fans used to come by and he would come out of the gate and sign autographs and talk to people. And this happened in 68 and in 69, I believe. And eventually the fans learned his schedule, so they would be there when he got home. And he would roll down his window and he would sign autographs and stuff like that. And I don't know what person actually does that, but all I know is that he did it. So I found that really what's the word? I thought it was very sweet. I thought it was very nice. Just an all around lovely human being. So I mean, or sometimes he'd walk down by himself. So I don't know any celebrity that actually does that, but I think that is just like, I think that's very nice.
Definitely. He was the sweetest when it came to his fans.
He loved his fans.
Yep.
I think he actually loved his fans more than his girlfriends. My opinion.
Well, in my opinion, they treated him. In my opinion, they treated him better.
Yep.
Just saying.
Same. I agree with you on that one.
Yep. Lynn, which house did you research on?
I picked Tupelo. No, I didn't get like a whole lot of information on this, but I think we all know the basics of this one. So I'll start off. Like all I could find was says in 1934 Vernon built the house on borrowed money of $180 for the materials, and they lived there for 3 years from 37 to 38. But after financial difficulties, the house got repossessed. They said it was only like a little two-room shotgun house in East Tupelo. And at that time in around 1935, it was actually a rough area. Then it goes on. All I could find out was Elvis wanted a park for the neighbourhood children and donated the proceeds from a 57 concert at the Tupelo Fairgrounds to further cause. And it goes, the property stands in its original location and has been restored to its original condition. decorated with period furniture and is open to the public for tours.
which is amazing.
And yeah, and all I can find out then was says the house now is a landmark. It's the centerpiece of the park. It includes many other exhibits, popular photo ops of the Elvis at 13 statue, and the Elvis Childhood Church, the Assembly of God.
It's amazing.
It's like I said, there's not really too much information. It just says it's now an historic site. And like I said, the city of Tupelo bought the home and the surrounding property in 57. And all I could find out then was just says they spent 13 years in Tupelo before they moved to Memphis. They moved to Memphis in 1948. There is, I found something about another house, but like I said, I don't know if it's the actual same house. They said Presley lived in a blue planked home from 43 to 44. They said it was originally located at 1241 Kelly Street in East Tupelo, Mississippi. They said in 2017 the house was carefully taken apart and preserved for a later assembly.
That couldn't have been. That couldn't have been the one they moved into after the other house got repossessed, could it?
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. But the dates are wrong.
Yeah, if it wasn't documented, the date there's probably just a guess of the date of when they moved in and that.
Yeah, it's a possibility because they show a picture of that blue planked house, but I said I didn't really recognize it. So that's all the information I could find out on the house in Tupelo.
Yeah, I know when they got it repossessed, they moved in with some relatives.
Yeah, they moved in with relatives, I think, for a couple of months or something.
So maybe that was the relative's house.
Yeah, maybe that. Yeah, that blue planked house. Yeah,
that's why we can't.
That makes more sense.
That's probably why you can't find anything on it, is because obviously the relative wanted to keep that quiet.
Yeah, that's probably a possibility, I'd say, yeah. But I'd actually love to know where they actually preserved it and later assembled it.
It's got to be somewhere. We'll never know, but...
Yeah.
Yep. And Elvis was born in that house, and him and his brother.
Yep. And just another reference
to... yeah.
Just another reference to Tupelo. His great-granddaughter is named Tupelo.
Yeah. And that's a nice little...
Beautiful.
I thought that was a lovely little connection.
That's a nice little family... How do I put it? Like, it's a reference to her great-grandfather.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like their connection to Tupelo.
The Presley... Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he's in a cemetery in Memphis somewhere, or Tupelo.
It'll be in Tupelo. They couldn't move him because he was buried in something that they couldn't move him when obviously Elvis died. They
said it was a shoebox. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know.
Well, they were so.
At the time, they were so poor.
Yeah, they were so poor they probably couldn't afford a casket, and he was obviously a newborn baby.
Yeah.
So.
As they even said, Elvis spent a couple of years himself trying to find the grave, but I don't think he ever found it.
I don't think he did either.
No. That's why they only have that.
Not from anything I've been researching either. I know he was looking for it, but because it wasn't a documented burial, from what I've read, that's the reason why he couldn't find it. Because most of the burials back then, if you were poor, were not always documented.
So it would be kind of like on a register anywhere.
But that's what I've read. I'm not 100% sure on that, so no one quote me on that. But that's what.
I think that's all you could ever find. It like that's all they ever said. It's not, like I said, it's not documented. It's just a shame, really.
Yeah, but it's nice though that they've got like a little placard there, and people put like little teddies and that on for him at Graceland.
Yeah. I love looking at all the flowers on the graves.
The house I researched is the 1034 Audubon Drive house. So this was the first house Elvis purchased for his parents. It looks like, so he was on tour, and on March 20th of 1956, he purchased the house, and his parents were so overjoyed and proud. They previously lived just in rental apartments, as we all know. So Elvis paid a total of $40,000 for a 4-bedroom property on Audubon Drive. Um, so what I found was 8 families have owned that house between 1957 to 1998. And after all the years, Elvis was the only one to add a room to the house. Elvis converted the outdoor patio into a large den with a glass wall to overlook the pool that he also put in. I did find out that he only lived there for 13 months, which I did not know. But Gladys and Vernon were overjoyed because they could finally have a house to call their own. I do know that while Elvis was gone on tour and doing all his TV presentations and appearances, Gladys would serve all the fans and the ladies lemonade that would come up to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I didn't know the fans would and they would
Okay,
throw
that's
pennies
something.
at yeah, and they would throw pennies at Elvis's bedroom window, and eventually Elvis ended up moving to a bedroom in the back of the house for more privacy. But also, Gladys would give all the fangirls tissues to go wipe the dust off of Elvis's cars, which I thought was pretty funny. Yeah. So this neighborhood was pretty prestigious. There was a lot of high class people living there, doctors and lawyers. Um, Gladys would hang their clothes out to dry, and that was not received well by the high class neighbors. I do know that. And Gladys started to feel uncomfortable there because, that's all she's ever known to do, and um, they just didn't receive it very well. But let's see, what else did I find?
I just can't get over the fact that they throw pennies at his bedroom window.
Yeah, I know they used to knock on the window and the walls as well.
Yeah, I know they
Yeah.
used to knock, but I never knew about the penny thing.
Yeah, I know that's a new one. And wiping the dust off the
So I
cars.
know. Yeah, that was so funny. Yeah, I read that.
Yeah.
So this was like a pivotal time when they were at Audubon Drive, and I know they only lived there 13 months, so it was a short time. But in later years, in April 2017, the house was damaged by fire, and it was undergoing renovations at the time. And most of the contents of the house were undamaged because they were moved somewhere else at the time for renovations. But I know a number of the Audubon Drive the furniture items can be seen at Graceland today, including the mirror that is in the living room. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's the circly one, is it?
That's something I didn't know, that mirror was from that house. That's something I didn't know.
Yeah, someone else pointed out that the mirror is kind of out of shape. That must be due to the fire.
Now, I don't think it's the circular one over the fireplace. I think it's the one Elvis took a picture in and Lisa did too. I think it's by the piano, if I am correct. But it is a square or like a mirror. Pretty cool. I really like how that house started them out for his future purchases, and it's like your first home. It was a good first home.
He was young. He was young as well, wasn't he? Brought that house. Was he 21?
Yeah.
Yeah. He had just started out. I mean, he only paid $40,000 for it, which is great. I mean, and then
I suppose back then that would have been a lot of money. So.
Yeah.
You can't get a house for 40,000, either British pound or 40 grand, or
euros
over there.
Even though you get a car for 40,000
house for that.
Do you know what? In England, you get like a tiny square of land for that.
You get that much. Even though you get a car.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't even hardly get a car for that anymore.
Yeah. You probably still need more money for it.
Yeah, that was an interesting house. I was really intrigued with that house.
Imagine
And
beating them up.
they did add a gate. I'm sorry, not a gate, but they added fencing around the yard for privacy, but I don't think it really helped much.
They got in anyway.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the house was still so close to the fences, wasn't it? So they
Yeah,
could just climb the wall and
Yeah.
just.
yeah,
Whereas
exactly.
with Graceland, they've got to go over the wall all the way up the driveway.
Through the gate.
They'll be knackered
Yeah,
by the time they get all the way up there.
Yeah, exactly.
that's why they have bus.
At least you had a long ways before you got to the house at Graceland.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's a long drive.
Hmm.
As if like anyone who's ever experienced that drive up to the house, it must be quite an experience to drive on the path that Elvis used to drive in
Yeah, I'm walking.
I know.
and walk on and goof around on and,
Yeah,
I can't imagine.
blow up fireworks. Oh
Yes.
God!
I think
I really don't
Lisa said, I don't know how some of them people didn't die.
Yeah, because
it's true though. They literally threw by each other.
when I was researching Graceland, Lisa said that they never used to stick them in the ground. They used to just hold them while they'd ignite
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Then they throw at each other. I was like,
Yeah. And I'm like, God, nowadays that would like.
you can't even hold a sparkler nowadays, and you
Yeah.
have health safety. Have to. What are you doing?
And he used to buy like boxes and boxes
Yeah.
of fireworks.
Yeah. She said that they used to set them off in the basement and inside the house. Like,
Yeah.
holy
Yeah,
cow.
they did actually.
I read,
I think they pranked the maids. I think one day, didn't they?
I read that him and one of the guys set one alight in the house, and then they tried to see who could get out the front door fastest before it exploded. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's what I read, and that really made me laugh. You can just see that the maids are standing there, like, okay, well, now what do I do? And then you just see Elvis just leg it past the fireworks.
It's strange about the one where I think Elvis after buying Lisa a pony.
Yeah, and he brought it into
Someone
the
brought it into the house and it just went all over the house, but
Oh,
it
no,
apparently
that was in Priscilla's book, I think.
Yeah,
Where
'cause I think that was actually in
where Elvis walked the horse in the house.
yeah.
Well, Lisa was on. I think Lisa was on the horse, and the horse.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
The horse crapped in front of Dodger's room.
that's right. Yeah.
I would hate to be the one to clean that carpet, especially if it was white.
Yeah, well, thanks.
That was the type of man that he was. Is that he mess up his house and. I mean, if people research, he bloody shot a hole from his butt in the toilet and it went through the bloody.
That's right, just through the roof.
Thing.
Wait, what?
Marcus said today.
You didn't know that? Elvis shot. You know that window above the front door is Elvis's bathroom.
Yeah.
One time, I think he got angry and he shot his toilet and it went through the roof.
He's smiling to her, and he just was.
Yeah, apparently this is what they read, is that he got his gun and just went bang and it went straight through the toilet and through the floor. Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty hilarious.
That's just the type of person he was. I mean, he was so. From what people said, is that he was just so funny. Like, there's a clip somewhere where he was giving handshakes to people. One of the guys tried to give him a handshake, but he pulled away.
Scary. I think that was one of the rehearsals. I think.
I think so. He was in that blue suit with like black piping, but it was definitely the late 60s, early 70s because he had them glasses on.
Yeah, I think they were white pranksters altogether.
They were like children, basically. As one of the maids said, they were like children.
Yeah, I think they all said that. Yeah, I would have loved to be around Graceland that time.
Especially if he's
Me
home
too.
and he's not doing anything.
Yeah, and he's childish. Oh goodness! I'd say we only know about half of what he got up to.
We'll never properly know everything because there's some things that people will keep to themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's some things that they were like, oh, the fans would like to know. Like most,
yeah, so like I said, they all have their own memories of.
and their memories are all so they're so similar, but they're all different. If you know what I mean. Like they were all friends with him at the same time, but their memories are so like they sound so similar. But if you think about it, look into the deeper picture, they were just so different as well.
Yeah, it's really, yeah.
So nobody talked about the Circle G Ranch, the ranch that Elvis bought.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up then. Like, oh,
Didn't they
Yeah.
didn't they live in a trailer for a while on that land? From what
Yeah,
I
he
read,
bought
there was
trailers for everyone.
yeah, they lived on trailers.
yeah, it's only meant for himself and Priscilla, but
They
sure.
weren't like cheap trailers. They were like high end, maxed out, high glamour trailers.
I think they're trying. I think they're trying to leave it now because they said it's gone into disrepair and they don't know.
I swear someone owns that Circle G now.
Well, I signed a petition there about a week ago asking to help save it. I think they said the owner is Italian. I think, but they said I think they've tried.
Surely they've got to know who
He's dead or not.
who owned it.
I say, surely somebody would know.
But then again, though, Graceland has got obviously EPE has got Graceland. So would they buy it and put any more money in it? Just think about it hypothetically.
But to be honest, I think they should because as I said, it'd be another attraction for people to go to.
That's true. Maybe that's something that someone could suggest to Graceland. Tell them how much of a disrepair it's in and see if they do anything. At the end of the day, it's their choice what to do with it. We can't.
Exactly. We can't do anything about it.
We're never, ever in our lifetime going to get enough money to be able to buy that, save it, make it an attraction.
That's big in the lotto. That's the only way.
Highly doubtful in this country.
Unless someone marries a millionaire.
So Circle G Ranch is where Elvis and Priscilla spent their honeymoon in 1967. And you know, he bought horses for
honeymoon.
all the guys.
This was not the honeymoon house in Palm Springs where she was conceived, because that's where they get their honeymoon. Because I think when she went to Circle G, I think she discovered she was pregnant then. I think.
I swear they went to Circle G first.
No, I think that was after the honeymoon. Because Frank Sinatra gave him a loan of a plane for the Memphis to Palm Springs.
Yeah, I think they went to Palm Springs and then they went to Circle G Ranch. Remember the lasagna story? She tried to make dinner for everybody.
Yeah, she didn't cook the noodles.
She didn't cook the noodles before she made the lasagna.
Well, at least she tried though. But
I commend her for her efforts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope to God she can cook a lasagna now. For God's sake. But then again, though, if she was living with Elvis for a long time, everything was cooked for her, so I'm guessing she never really had the chance to properly learn.
Her book, she could never get much alone time with him. No, whether that's true or not, I don't have many.
He purchased the ranch. Yeah. So he purchased Circle G Ranch for $437,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
So housing prices started to rise. But I read that Vernon was really worried about buying this ranch, and then Elvis went and bought horses for all the Memphis Mafia and their wives, and they rode horses all over the land. And I know Vernon was just freaking out over the money situation.
Well, I mean, he had a right to freak out.
Okay, so it says, yeah. So it says here, Priscilla and Elvis spent a few days in Palm Springs, and then went to Memphis before escaping to Circle G Ranch for the next however long they were there.
Yeah, I don't know how long they stayed at Circle G.
I don't think they ever really properly lived there. From what I found out,
I don't think so. No,
is that I think it was just.
I think it was only a couple of months.
He had time off from the Colonel swindling him.
Yep.
He went there. That's what I'm guessing. I think he brought it just because it was for the animals, and so then he can go and ride like horses through the land and that. That's what I reckon.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And there's also another house in Beverly Hills, Monovale Drive.
Annabelle Drive, yeah.
I found out in 1970 he brought that home, and then obviously he shared it with obviously Priscilla and Lisa.
Yeah,
And most recently in 2020, that house sold for 20 million,
that's right, yeah.
Wow.
with the adjoining
Holy moly.
parcel of land selling for an additional 9.3.
Yeah. You have two houses in Bel Air. Because I have Bel Air down twice.
There's also, yeah, he did. There was one on Bellagio Road, Bel Air,
Oh, Bellagio.
Bellagio.
But that's the big fancy place, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, because he said he only spent about 13 months in there. He said it was too fancy for him. I said, have you seen the picture of the house? Oh my God, even I wouldn't live there.
It was too
It's way
fancy
too
for him.
fancy.
He lived at Graceland.
Too fancy for
Bracelet does not
days.
compare to that house that we were just talking about. This thing is a monstrosity. Hang on a minute, there's another house in Palm Springs called West Chino Road. It was I don't know if that's the house or the road.
There's one called Pergue Way in Bel Air.
Bougie away, yeah. Oh yeah, that's the
So
other house.
obviously this is the one that he rented. He didn't actually buy this one. He rented it.
Yeah. And there's a Rocker Place as well.
Yeah, because it was a
56.
semicircular house looked onto the Bel Air County Club and had a large motor court in front.
Yeah.
And
So which
then-
house was he in when Priscilla was attacked by the Nutleys?
I think it was the
I'm trying to remember which house that
I
was.
think it was the Beverly Hills one, I think.
Was it? That's
I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know it was one of the houses in LA because he was filming
Double trouble.
Yeah, it was
Double Trouble at the time. Because if anyone watches Double Trouble, they can see the bruise on one of his hands
Yeah, you see the bruise on his knuckles. Yeah.
from when he punched their car.
Yeah.
Oh, he was furious.
Oh, he was. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Although Priscilla got some good shots in, I must say. She punched that one girl. I was like, yes, all right. Whew.
And then there's also the German house.
Yeah, bad.
I can't even pronounce it. So everyone will know what we're talking
spell it or I pronounce it.
But he lived there from 59 to 60.
Yeah.
And then obviously, as everyone knows, he met Priscilla in Germany.
Yeah.
I couldn't really find much on that house. For some reason.
Actually, I don't actually think there's too much now. I've seen pictures of it, but
Yeah, I've seen pictures of it, but there's not much information about it.
no, they must be trying to keep it secret.
So I didn't know
It's okay.
this. There is a legend that lost one of his wedding bands on Circle G Ranch, and it's never been recovered. Metal detectors out.
Yeah.
It was in one of the books. I don't know if it was.
Just finding that. Oh my God.
I don't know if it was in Priscilla's or one of the guys, but yeah, he did lose it, and it was never found, so he had to have it replaced. Only I read that's why he started to wear 2 rings on his. From what I've read.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised no one has got him with metal detectors to try and find it.
They probably have. Everyone's probably tried to, but
But then isn't there a lake or something in that Circle G?
yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe he was flinging his arms around while riding on the horse, and it just flew off in the lake.
Yeah. It's a possibility. I don't want to go swimmer.
And he didn't tell anyone.
Divers.
And he didn't tell anyone it fell off in the lake, so he just made the guys go around and get metal detectors. I can't swim.
Yeah, I think we need to.
I need to go out.
If she finds it, I want 50-50.
We're all calling dibs.
I think we'll have to send it to each other and have like a month with it, and then send it to the next person.
Yeah.
God, that'll cost a fortune in shipping.
Yeah. I know that's like it should be alright.
It's alright. We'll let the Americans have it, but they have to send us pictures every day.
Yeah. Make sure it's
thousands.
still in one piece.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of acres to cover with metal detectors. It would take us years to find it.
Yeah, that's a very big property, though. Isn't it?
And do you know what? We'd end up getting so excited, and we'd end up being no, it's a nail.
They're probably not taking horseshoe.
Yeah.
There'd be so many craters in that place.
Be falling down holes.
Yeah.
That's all.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, well, actually, that's what
We'd
we
all
should
be
search for.
excited, like,
Yeah. Someone catch up and see if it has been found, or if it's true, or if it's just something made up. I'd be useless now for searching for information. I can barely turn
yeah,
on
we'd
my
all
phone.
be excited.
Yeah.
We'd all think we had it. It'd be our little metal detectors.
Right, hang on. I've searched this. Right, but this is from a source, so I don't know if this is 100% true. But this is what it says: the ring ultimately fell off from the kerchief, which Elvis did not notice
Kerchief?
at the moment it happened. But
The things on his neck.
after much searching, the ring was not found. Priscilla soon gave Elvis another ring to replace his original. Oh, hang on. Yeah, it says here. Shortly after he and Priscilla were married, the ring became loose on his finger. Elvis tied it to a bandana around his neck so he wouldn't lose it while working on the ranch, but it fell off unnoticed and was never recovered.
We definitely have to send someone to search it.
So what I'm guessing is that obviously, because if he was losing weight, and then obviously you lose weight in your hands, his ring was loose, put it on his neckerchief, and then obviously if it fell off, and that's why I reckon he started to wear two rings, because then it knew it would never fall off again.
Yeah, exactly. Still though, the original ring is on the land.
The original ring now, with everyone walking on that land, it would have been buried deep down.
Yeah, it's probably gone further into the.
Do you think the weight of a person and the weight of that ring?
Yeah, there was horses, cars, everything being driven over there. Sure.
Exactly. If there was the weight of the car probably would have crushed that ring flat.
So yeah,
but
that's
then again, though, if it was that.
But I said the thing is that would have been good, very good gold at that time. That would have been the proper.
Yeah.
Gold. That would be not cheap.
Probably had diamonds in it.
Oh no, I
think it did, because if it was anything like the one he was wearing before, maybe they would have. So hang on, the original wedding photos. What did it look like in the original?
There should be in those, or even no, it should be in the wedding pictures. If you can look it up or zoom in on it to show you what it's like.
What's her name said that those weren't the original wedding.
Yeah, because this original wedding band that Elvis has gone is just plain. It's not.
Yeah, but no, so I still say the original one is still in that ground. Still though, it's money's worth.
Because I know that sometimes Grayson put his replacement wedding ring on display. Sometimes.
Yeah, so that was to be purchased from your man. What's his name? The jeweler he always went to. Your man Lowell Hayes, is it?
Yeah. The Elvis's jewellery maker, yeah.
If anyone should know, it would be him. He'd actually probably have pictures of the proper wedding rings. Yeah, because he'd probably know then the public would go nuts for.
Exactly, and then obviously if the original design is released, then there's going to be companies that will copy it for cheaper.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they're going to lose money, which is why if you buy anything from Graceland, which is Laurel Hayes, if you buy any jewellery, it's like Laurel Hayes.
Yeah.
Which is why you never see any of their designs. Well, I haven't seen any of their designs on their artwork and that online, because they know that other companies will take that and sell it for less.
Yeah, so it's true though.
Taking money out, less quality, horrible material, then it's going to take money from them.
Yeah.
Then if you're spending money on a piece of...
He kind of makes jewellery to your...
Yeah, from what I've read is that he makes it in your, so it makes it a specific ring size for you.
Yeah, like I said, if you wanted 2 diamonds, 3 diamonds, whatever, thrown into it, he'll make it.
Yeah, and it'll be made into the way Elvis would have had it.
That's the only thing she says in her book. Whatever ring she was talking about, you can wear something separate. Is the diamonds or something separate from the? You can take the diamond out of the ring and put it into a necklace.
Yeah, I think her engagement ring was separate from band. From what it looks like, is that the outer band could be removed.
Yeah.
But then again, I've never seen a proper.
Yeah, I've never seen pictures of any of their hands with rings. Well, we know he wears rings, but not
The only picture that I've seen on their wedding day of them of her wearing a ring was that silver horseshoe one. Whereas Elvis was wearing a wedding band and the silver horseshoe one.
So that horseshoe ring, I think that was the first ring he ever bought himself. I think he designed his ring onto hers. I think so. Her one must be similar to the horseshoe one.
It must be. I don't know.
He's still living.
So yeah, 'cause he's still in Memphis, I think. Now, it might actually be him, but it could be his son.
Well, I know he's going, but I didn't know if he was still alive or if he'd passed.
So I won't be 100% on that now. But I imagine he's probably would have been the same age as Elvis, probably 80s, 90s. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I can't find anything about him passing, so I'm guessing he is.
Yeah, so he must be still alive.
Even if he's not, he's had children that are still running.
Yeah, the family's probably running it now.
The business, and I'm guessing they know all of the designs that are.
Oh yeah, see, they're all locked up, I'd say. Again, they were in a secret place too. Like there are certain items that we're looking for too.
Which is, do you know what I kind of like about that is that they don't keep the same item on display for too long. Like they switch it out at certain points. So like it'll be on for display for like months at a time, and then when the next group go, it'll be like either like a 5 or 6 rings, or his glasses, or like what else do they normally put out? Like a belt or something.
Yeah, I think around they tend to change out the styles and what comes in, I suppose.
Yeah, well, I think Angie does that because she's the head of archives, isn't she?
Yeah. If anyone knows where the pictures are, she should know if there is any.
Yeah.
We need to make friends with her.
She knows exactly where they are.
Yeah, she knows exactly where they are.
We need to go over to Memphis, get her drunk, and get her to reveal her secret.
And she knows exactly what is on them images. She knows exactly what is on there.
Of course she does. Or we need to find. Does anyone know if there's actually a thing called Truth Serum?
But like, what a privilege to be able to handle such items that have been held and touched and read or something like that. But you know what also really kind of irritates me about Graceland is that you can't be an Elvis fan and work there.
Yeah, I read that too when I was there. What? That's a bit strange.
And I'm like, why?
Well, if that's the case, I am not an Elvis fan.
Neither am I. Neither am I.
With Elvis t-shirts on. We're not fans.
In the interview, they'd be like, "Are you an Elvis fan?" No, absolutely not.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not actually. That's the reason why I'm here. And then you're thinking to yourself, right, okay, now, what do? I can't freak out. I can't lie. So I've just got to act casual.
Someone for that. I won't be able to.
Thing is,
Lynn would be laughing. She could not keep her composure.
I give it away.
Yeah. They'd ask Lynn, "Well, are you an Elvis fan?" And she's just like, "No."
No. She'll be crying and fanning herself.
It's like
Which, to be honest with you, if you think about it, I think it's kind of a good thing that they don't hire Elvis fans, because if you think there could be someone that would take an item and then sell it on, so that's a good thing that you can't be an Elvis fan, because I would not want someone to end up taking an item that's his and then ending up selling it in a malicious way, because that's not the reason why you love the man.
Mhm.
You love
Right.
like there's the
We
reason why
just want
you're
to.
not you're not an Elvis fan because of his jewellery or the money he used to give to fans. You're an Elvis fan because of him.
Yeah,
You're not a fan of
Rob and all his stuff.
you're not a fan of the Elvis Presley. You're a fan of Elvis Presley, and that's what I try to tell people: is that you're not a fan of the Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll. You're a fan of the human
Yeah,
Mhm.
the other side.
Elvis.
Yeah. We just want to smell everything and look at everything.
Yeah.
Or is that just me?
Yeah.
It's not just you.
We'd have to be very tame when we go there, and we're like, do you know what? They take a deep breath. They take a deep breath.
You'd have to
And
put muzzle on me.
yeah.
Sophie.
They'd have to take a deep breath and be like, right, okay, now we have to watch them like a hawk.
I can actually see the headlights.
I can imagine to the calls that you'd have to make to the people bailing you out. I need some help. I got arrested. Why did you get arrested? Because I tried to find the archives.
I was trying to break in.
We got in, we were sniffing. That's when we got caught.
But you know what, though? He would get a laugh out of that, though. He would.
Would he get a laugh out of someone jumping into his pool?
No, he wouldn't. But he'd get a laugh. Like he would get a laugh out of people joking about it.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't get a laugh out of people.
He would
actually doing
probably
it.
kick
Like,
that person's ass.
Yeah, he would. He would. I think when obviously there are people's different opinions of the afterlife, but I think when he saw that person jump in the pool, he was like, "You son of a bitch."
Exactly.
He's like, "That's closed for a reason."
Cheek him jumping in my pool.
See, I don't care if it's 190 degrees outside. You don't jump in a pool. That is someone's house.
Turning up to some stranger's house and just jumping into their pool like.
Exactly. It's like you walk into their house and you jump into their pool. They wouldn't like it.
Exactly.
And especially if your family is buried there as well.
Yeah.
Like, that pool is not even like feet away from Lisa, Ben, and his mum and his dad. So,
Yeah, it's only a couple of yards.
Respect.
and there was a video going around of this couple where they climbed over the rope and they'd sat on his bed at the Tupelo house.
That's right, yeah. Her and her mother.
And I'm like,
You think they'd have more fun there, wouldn't you?
I'm like, for God's sake, I'm like, that's roped off for a reason. Because
Exactly.
that's not, you're meant to look at it. Has anyone heard the saying, look with your eyes, do not touch?
Yeah.
Or look with your eyes, not with your hands?
Yeah.
So, hypothetically, if, let's just say, to them obviously when people died a tragic death and they were famous, right? Would they want someone to climb over the rope and sit on their bed?
No.
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 Then why do it? So then why do it? That's what I would like them to answer that question is.
See, again, this is all going back to this Gen Z generation. They're all fucked up in the head a lot.
Okay.
They don't
Cut that out.
I'm wrong.
But it's true.
It is true, and I mean
It is true.
I'm from the early Gen Z.
You're on the better half, Chantal. You are.
But I've been brought up with like, okay, well, we've got to respect a place. This isn't my home.
That's right.
You have to respect.
People need to have.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to use
Exactly.
common sense.
That's it. Yeah, exactly.
It's a common sense. It's what you're brought up with. I was always told, look with your eyes, not with your hands.
That's just like going into the cockpit of an airplane and you see that big red button that you're not supposed to push, but you push it anyway.
Exactly.
Same kind of scenario. Don't touch it.
Thing is, I've never been on an airplane, but I have a fear of flying. And that is my worst fear. If anything going wrong and you have no way out. And I know that you can land safety sometimes, and also like when planes go missing, Like that's what freaks me out is because what if you're on a plane and then you miss going to? I swear to God, if I go on a plane to Graceland and I go missing, that'll be it. I swear to God, if I don't land in Memphis to go see Graceland before I disappear, I will actually.
Yeah, because I used to take the same, before you go away on holidays, and you look forward to going off on holiday, and next week all news is just planes falling out of the sky, and I'm like, do I go or don't I?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I often see. Oh, nope.
Gonna give Chantel 2 gin and tonics before she boards the plane.
Oh God, yeah. Just give me a sleeping pill or something so I don't remember
I was about to say, do the BA Baracus job in the 80. Come out with sleeping pills.
The flight attendant will be like, is she okay? Yeah, she just has a fear of flying. Don't worry about her.
She's fast asleep, she's alright.
We just got to wake her up when we get off the plane.
Yeah.
Just carry her off the plane. It's fine. She'll be up.
Yeah. She'll eventually wake up.
No, just play Elvis music in me or I'll wake up then.
Well, hope y'all enjoyed us talking about Elvis's houses today. I hope you come back and hear us again. This was episode 4. And we had Chantel, Lynn, and Natalie, and me, Brooke, on this episode. So let's say bye, girl.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hope you enjoyed.